Good morning. It is Monday, May 19th. This is Automotive State of the Union. I'm Kyle Mountsier. That is Michael Cirillo. And we're talking about Kia's veteran tech program, not so American made and vibe Codex-ing. It's a vibe. We learned a new word last week. I knew the word, but everybody in the audience knew the word after Steve Greenfield said it because he's super smart. We're back.
I love how many people were like, Can we get a copy of his prezo, please?
Of Steve Greenfield's? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Can I get a copy of his weekly presentation that he just spins up because he's so smart? And yeah, you can go to automotiveventures.com and you can get his weekly newsletter and you can get all the smart things that Steve Greenfield says. So there you go. We're back from a SoduCon. How'd your weekend go, Cirillo?
We delayed. Baltimore was like, was that a lightning rod we saw in the sky? Divert all traffic. But you're like, where did they divert it to? 27 minutes away to DC. And
that's
then
what happened.
Through. So we got home. I rolled into bed, guys, at like 3:15 the next morning.
I'm glad I'm glad what happened to us happened. We were out of the airport by 6:30. They did not take our flight, and so we flew back the next day. It was a whole mess, but I will say we were on the plane when the storm rolled through, and our plane was gyrating back and forth this guy. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad I'm not in the air. We're gonna be fine. It's fine.
Plane.
But hey, if you had all the FOMO and you want to be there, mark your calendars for a SoduCon 2026. Yeah. It's going to be May 12th to the 15th. The team is already locked and loaded. They're like, we know what we're doing. We got big ideas. It's going to be crazy. You're going to want to make sure and circle those dates. It's the week after Mother's Day next year. Same timeline.
If you have any ounce of curiosity, scroll the socials, right? Look up hashtag a SoduCon on any of the socials. The feedback has been mind-boggling, right? I don't know if you're like this, but I get surprised anytime I do a good thing and it ends up being a good thing. I'm like, what was it really that? And I mean, it's testament to the crew. They did such a phenomenal job. The attendees make it what it is, and the level of participation is just mind-blowing. And I mean, to your point, circle the calendar because people are already doing it. They're like, yep, that's the thing I'm doing this time next year. It's crazy. It's awesome.
That's right. All right, let's get into the news today. Kia America's Veterans Technician Apprentice Program is helping dealers find, train, and retain top-tier tech talent by giving veterans a fast path to certification, and the results are showing up in the service drive. The program was launched in 2023 and combines mentorship, on-the-job training, and a 30-day certification boot camp approved by the DOL and VA. It offers tax credits and GI Bill stipends to offset dealer costs. So you talk about training, technicians, and funds to help cover it. It's good. 462 Kia dealerships have enrolled. 278 veterans, including 16 women, have been hired so far. They are reporting higher appointment volume, productivity, and get this for the loyalty play, lower tech turnover. I think, you do something good for the veterans and it always turns out in spades. Speaking about program graduate Caleb Samsel, Anthony Catalanato of Generation Auto Group said he's a leader. He says the right things. He does the right things. He's always in his uniform. He's always working hard. If someone can't figure something out, he's right with them. So these employees, these opportunities, I'm telling you, they're the right people, and the military background is gonna drive results.
So interesting. After SoduCon, Emer was like, "Yo, we got to go to DC. We got to go to. I want to take you on base." He's been talking about this forever. Those that don't know Emer Sanabria, look him up, connect with him on LinkedIn. Retired 20-year retired Marine. He's like, I got to bring you on base, and he did. We did that, and we got to go like the back route into the Arlington Cemetery. So on base version.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, and I didn't know we were going to be doing this story today, but the thought came to my mind, like, we do honor these individuals so much, and it's so cool to like have a real life kind of touch point now of like these individuals who are doing so much to serve the country, and then to see something like this from an OEM program coming back to say, hey, we want to provide additional opportunities. I can only imagine is going to go a long way. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real simple play here is like get your HR department on the phone with your local Veterans Affairs representatives and the people there, because they're always looking for job placement opportunities. And with so many dealerships implementing technician training programs, why not make that a hotbed for putting people into the dealerships?
And I mean, so many of them already have careers in these types of operations. They
Yeah,
know how
they're
to.
already engineers, or they were working on cars or planes
Exactly.
or any. Yeah,
Yep.
like they know the technician thing.
Easy. That's
Easy.
cool.
That's very cool. All right, keeping rolling despite political pressure and patriotic branding. Building a truly American-made vehicle is still more fantasy than factory reality. Ford's latest Expedition highlights just how global even U.S. assembled vehicles remains. The Expedition, here's the fun facts, is assembled in Kentucky, but only 58% of its parts are North American, with key components like engines, semiconductors are still coming from overseas. Automakers say sourcing 90% U.S. content could raise vehicle prices $10,000 to $20,000, pricing out many buyers. That's like more than the price of a BYD vehicle in China, people. Past vehicles reached 90% US Canada content. Today's tech and globalization make that very rare. Ford CEO Jim Farley said, "We can move everything to the US, but if every Ford is $50,000, we're not going to win."
Oh, I agree with him. What? Come again?
Look,
yeah, I mean, look, yes, and like there's still a small little naive piece of my body that's like, there's a bigger play here, right? Right, Kyle, is there?
Yeah, there's definitely a bigger play here for sure.
And,
I mean,
and do you think, but then I got to think like CEO Jim Farley and CEO Mary Barra and all of them. Really? Like, this makes it sound like he's the last one to know. I've got to think they're somewhere near the first to know what the big play is.
Yeah, there's got to be a bigger play at this, because, yeah, like you said, if everything comes to the U.S. and like this data says, like it's going to be a total different cost matrix. And for probably one of the most American made vehicles, the Expedition, to only have 50%, 58% of its parts, we can't be so naive to think that we can't be a global economy. But you know, all of the tariff talk, there's definitely a rebalancing that's coming to play. So we'll see what that holds. Speaking of rebalancing.
Oh.
Stop. Segue. Time.
Okay, this one's blowing my mind. It's trippy. It's my brain's oozing out of my ear slowly. Listen to this. OpenAI is expanding its capabilities in one of AI's most competitive frontiers, software engineering. Its new Codex agent is designed to handle, you ready for this, complex coding tasks autonomously and at scale. Codex performs tasks like writing code, fixing bugs, running tests, and reviewing code bases. Okay. And available to ChatGPT Pro team and enterprise users during a research preview. They were built on the new Codex 1 model optimized for OpenAI's O3 reasoning architecture. So you've got competitors like Anthropic Sonnet models still lead developer adoption, but the field is evolving quickly. I mean, this just shows that this is like 1960s version Race to the Moon stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's blowing my mind. So the OpenAI VP of Engineering, Srinivas Natrayanan, you got a difficult name. I thought I was safe. Said, quote, "It is a fundamentally new way of working." I would agree with
it. Absolutely is a fundamentally new way of working. I mean, this is back to Steve Greenfeld's point, where vibe coding and the ability to spin up development environments, new programs, new apps, new sites is going to become like second nature to almost any user, where the highest of tech only requires a very, very slim amount of development resources, is going to totally change the game. It's going to give dealers, it's going to give industry partners access to faster development, more speedy resolution of like new ideas into the market. And this is going to be a game changer across verticals. I think the pace of the change right now is quite intense. Like you look at between Cursor or Copilot or Codex here with OpenAI or Sonnet, every single one attempting to get more proficiency with code. And then I think the bigger benefit is how that model is trained on your existing code base for those development teams that already have a deep amount of code written, writing deeper unit tests, writing deeper end-to-end tests, writing better, cleaner, faster code. It's going to be quite an interesting time. And now access, like pro and team, right? Our team is going to have resources that can allow us to spin up new apps, new programs, new websites very, very quickly. It'll come down to a well-crafted prompt being able to deploy scalable tech very, very quickly. And that's wild.
I can't help but envision this future dystopian science fiction world we live in which they are replaying discussions like this, like, you know, when they make it look all grainy and vintage looking, and it's like, it's going to be you saying what you just said, and then like us getting to see how it actually all panned out with like George Jetson flying his kids to school and like all these different things. But that's, I hear this stuff and I'm like, this is it. Here we are. Like it is what it is now. It's not going anywhere.
Well, and this is where actually Ben Hadley, who we were just talking about, my co-founder at AutoGenius and good friend of both of ours, was saying like, the deeper connections, the moments of intimacy and relationship are going to be so much more important that we find those, because the ability to increase the dopamine hits on your life because you succeed or get the newest next thing are going to come faster and faster than even social media did. And so watching out for those points of connection, like deepening your people's, what Claude Silver called very hard skills. They're not soft skills anymore. They're very hard skills to develop in personal connection and empathy and relationship building. These are going to be the skills that set apart companies, people, softwares, dealerships, all those types of things. So working on those as the priority for training are going to be all the more important.
Unreal stuff. Unreal stuff.
Hey, look, this morning, it's all about being more than cars. It's loving people more than cars, because the craziness of the world can only impact you so much if you're great at deep connections. Go serve someone today.